Hello everyone. Today, we will study concept of print quality. First, the concept and content of printing quality. The concept of printing quality. 1. Printing. First, let's take a look at what printing is. In the introduction to printing in a university course, it should have been introduced that printing is a process technology that uses a printing plate or other methods to transfer the graphic and text information on the original manuscript onto the printing substrate. It should be noted here that either a printing plate or other methods are used. The printing plate refers to the printing plates in the traditional 4 major printing methods, and the other methods mainly refer to the digital printing methods that are widely used nowadays. It is a technology that transfers the graphic and text information on the original manuscript onto the printing substrate. The traditional printing method is to first apply ink to the printing plate, and then, through the printing device of the printing press, transfer the ink on the printing plate onto the printing substrate, at which time it becomes a printed product. Number 1. The definition of printed products. Currently, the definition of printed products is as follows. A printed product is a reproduction that uses certain process technologies, and through the cooperation of the printing plate or other methods, the printing substrate, ink, printing machinery, etc., with the goal of restoring the original manuscript. Therefore, printing is achieved through the mutual cooperation of 5 major elements to achieve the purpose of replicating products. Number 2. The duality of printed products. Here, printed products have twofold characteristics. Firstly, printed products are commodities that serve the material and spiritual civilizations of society, and have both economic and social benefits. Therefore, the requirements for them should also be measured from the above 2 aspects simultaneously. Printed products are often important visual products, and also important materials for commodity packaging. People's requirements for their quality are getting higher and higher, mainly manifested in the strength of the packaging materials, the quality of the plastic arts, the firmness after packaging is formed, including the influence degree of the printing substrate, solvents, ink, dampening solution, and other raw and auxiliary materials used on the packaged items. That is, whether there are some harmful substances in them that will affect the packaged items through migration. So the quality of printed products also needs to be considered here. 2. Quality. The second part is the definition of quality. According to the definition in the ISO 9000-2000 Basic Terms of Quality Management System of the International Organization for Standardization, quality refers to the degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfill requirements. Therefore, quality is the sum of the characteristics that reflect the ability of an entity to meet explicit and implicit needs. An entity can be a single thing described and studied, such as a product, an activity, a process, an organization, a system, a person, or any combination of them. In the case of a contract or regulatory requirements, the needs are explicitly specified, and in other cases, they are implicit. Therefore, according to specific needs, they need to be transformed into a combination of quality characteristics. For products, it generally includes 6 aspects of characteristics, namely performance, credibility, safety, adaptability, economy, and timeliness. Regarding quality, it can actually be divided into narrow quality and broad quality. Narrow quality refers to product quality, that is, the quality of printed products usually mentioned. Broad quality refers to not only the final product quality, but also the quality of the product formation and process. That is, the quality of printing reproduction. Quality should not only meet people's needs, but also meet social needs. Therefore, the content of quality usually includes performance, aesthetics, consistency, safety, reliability, economy, the service life of the product, reputation quality, and special quality requirements, etc. 3. Printing quality. What are the determinants of printing quality? First, let's take a look at the determinants of printing quality, which are design quality, especially the quality of printed products mentioned here. At the same time, It also includes aesthetics, use quality, service quality, and safety and environmental protection quality. 4. The quality of printed products. Number 1. The definition of the quality of printed products. In this class, what we mainly focus on is the quality of printed products. So let's first look at the definition of the quality of printed products. Printed products are commodities and works of art that rely on visual evaluation. Therefore, printed products here are first of all commodities. And secondly, they also have a certain artistic element. Therefore, when people evaluate the quality of printed products, they will involuntarily think of the three aspects of aesthetics, technology, and consistency. This way of thinking about the problem is to comprehensively consider people's visual psychological factors and the physical factors in the replication project. That is to say, we should not only consider the commercial value or artistic level of printed products, but also consider the influence of printing technology itself on the quality of printed products. However, practice has proved that the technology for evaluating the quality of printed products from the perspective of commercial value and art is not yet perfect, and such evaluations often cannot reliably express the quality characteristics of the replication of printed products. Therefore, only by evaluating from the perspective of printing technology can we correctly evaluate the quality of products. Therefore, the quality of printed products refers to the degree of authenticity, clarity, and perspective of the printed products in restoring the original manuscript. Number 2. The connotation of the quality of printed products. The connotation of the quality of printed products is usually determined by the following aspects. First, the degree of approximation of the printed product to the original manuscript. That is, whether the printed product and the original have achieved a perfect replication, or an approximately perfect replication. Second, the degree of approximation of the printed sample to the proofed sample. That is, the degree of approximation between the printed sample and the proofed sample, or the approved sample. During the printing process, production is carried out according to the approved sample on the machine. Therefore, it is necessary to check whether the printed sample meets the requirements in terms of its approximation to the proofed sample, or the approved sample. Third, the qualified rate of the same batch of printed products, and the degree of consistency among the same batch of printed products. That is, whether the qualified rate of this batch of printed products meets the requirements. The first two items are related to the absolute quality of printed products, and the latter item is related to the average quality of printed products. For example, there are 3 printed products with the same picture, numbered A, B, and C respectively. After measurement, the overprinting errors of their main parts are A less than or equals 0.05 mm, B less than or equals 0.07 mm, C less than or equals 0.10 mm. According to the GB/T7705-2008 Offset Lithographic Decorative Printed Product Standard, the overprinting error of the main parts of fine products should be less than or equal to 0.10 mm. Therefore, in terms of overprinting accuracy, the absolute quality is that A is better than B, and B is better than C. On the offset printing machines numbered A and B, the same printed products are printed respectively, both of which are single-sided 4-color prints. Sometimes the loss is 6 sheets per color ream, A and B, and the number of white papers fed into the 2 machines, A and B, is 20,480 sheets. If the required number of genuine products to be handed over is 20,000 sheets each, after printing, check the total number of genuine products. Machine A handed over 20,200 sheets. Among the 20 sheets randomly selected from them, the overprinting errors are 15 sheets with less than or equals 0.05 mm, 3 sheets with 0.05 to 0.07 mm, and 2 sheets with 0.07 to 0.1 mm. After machine B finishes printing and passes the inspection, the total number of genuine products is 20,100 sheets. Among the 20 sheets randomly selected from them, the overprinting accuracy is 10 sheets with less than or equals 0.05 mm, 5 sheets with 0.05 mm less than overprinting accuracy less than or equals 0.07 mm, and 5 sheets with 0.07 mm less than overprinting accuracy less than or equals 0.1 mm. Therefore, in terms of overprinting accuracy, the quality of A is obviously better than that of B. Here, the quality refers to the average quality. In terms of the overall average quality, A is relatively better. This is an example. 3. The replication quality of printed products. Then, the replication quality of printing refers to the quality of the reproduction of graphic and text information. Throughout the entire printing process, the printed image is regarded as a collection of information of individual pixels, with light and dark and color changes on a two-dimensional or three-dimensional picture. Here, characters can be regarded as graphic information for processing. So characters can also be regarded as images. Printing quality includes two aspects of content, namely image quality and text quality. First, characteristic parameters of image quality. First, let's take a look at what the characteristic parameters of image quality are. The characteristic parameters of image quality include tone reproduction, color restoration, high definition, and the absence of moire and other graphic and surface characteristics. The tone of a printed product refers to the density range or density difference of the image. The tone hierarchy system of printed products here is the reproducible density range and the number of brightness levels that can be recognized by the eyes. Generally speaking, the larger the density range of printing, the better the reproduction of tone hierarchy, and vice versa. There are many factors that affect the reproduction of tone hierarchy, such as the tone value of the original manuscript, the process during the production of the negative film and the printing plate, the performance of the paper, ink, and printing press, etc., all of which will have an impact on the tone. It can be said that the reproduction of tone hierarchy runs through the entire process from the original manuscript to the reproduction of printed products. Second, characteristic parameters of text quality. The characteristic parameters of text quality can be seen as whether there are defects such as blurred characters, missing strokes, spots, ink bleeding, etc., and the density of the text should meet the standard requirements. The density of the text is limited by the thickness of the printing ink layer. Therefore, on coated paper, the maximum density of black ink is approximately 1.5 to 1.7. And on uncoated paper, the maximum density of black ink is 1.2 to 1.4. The width of the strokes and the surface of the characters should be consistent with the original font drawn by the designer. Therefore, the width of the strokes and the surface of the characters is also affected by the thickness of the ink layer. When the ink layer is relatively thick, the deformation generated will be relatively large. Under the condition of a certain ink layer thickness, the deformation generated by small-sized characters is much more obvious than that generated by large-sized characters. Therefore, in order to obtain the best replication effect, the change in the width of the strokes should be kept within 5% of the range specified by the font designer or manufacturer, and the character size should be kept within 0.025 mm to 0.05 mm of the specification of the original manuscript. 5. The significance of printing quality inspection. In today's printing industry, which is developing towards multi-color, high-speed, and environmental protection, people have higher requirements for the quality of printed products and printing efficiency. One of the effective ways to improve printing quality, printing efficiency, and printing safety is to implement inspection. With the continuous development of economic reform, especially the increasingly fierce market competition, printing factories are facing severe challenges, and customers have higher and higher requirements for products. The printing industry has entered a low-profit era. In this situation, for enterprises to survive and develop, They must improve their own quality and economic benefits. In the final analysis, it is to improve quality, reduce consumption, conduct clean production, environmental protection production, and green production. The quality and safety of printed products can comprehensively reflect the management, technology, and personnel quality level of an enterprise. Improving product quality means improving the credibility of the enterprise and enhancing its market competitiveness. The data-based and standardized control of printing quality is a quantitative standard for printing quality control and is based on data-based and standardized management. Only through production under the management and control of scientific and quantitative data can the best printing quality be obtained. Scientific data is the basis for statistical, computational, scientific research, engineering design, and other work. The data-based and standardized management of printing quality means that in the entire process of printing graphic and text replication, all process flows at each stage should be operated according to certain procedures. In all processes or parts that can be represented by data, various data under different conditions should be detected and recorded through testing methods. And these data should be summarized into formulas, curves, charts, etc. that can guide production laws. Use these data and curves to formulate operation specifications for each process to guide production. To achieve the data-based and standardized operation of printing quality, the most important prerequisite is to stabilize various variable factors in the printing production. That is, the changes should be within an acceptable range of fluctuations, and a detailed understanding of the characteristics of each process flow in the printing process should be obtained to find out the laws and relationships between each process. Quality is the lifeblood of an enterprise, one of the most basic elements for an enterprise to survive and develop in a market economy, and also one of the core competitiveness of an enterprise. At the same time, it directly reflects the technical and management level of the enterprise. For printing enterprises to survive and develop, they must strengthen the control and management of printing quality, and must comprehensively, deeply, and persistently carry out activities related to the control and management of printing quality, so that the products of the enterprise are novel in design, exquisite in printing, bright in color, beautiful in binding, and are products that are loved and satisfied by people. At the same time, through high-quality products and services, enhance the core competitiveness of the enterprise, thereby establishing brand advantages, winning market share, and expanding market share. The specific significance of quality inspection is as follows. First, printing quality inspection is an inevitable need for the development of printing quality management towards data-based, standardized, and standardized directions. As printing quality management develops from being mainly qualitative to being mainly quantitative, it inevitably requires that printing quality be characterized by data and standardized standards to show its advantages and disadvantages. Therefore, printing quality inspection becomes a matter of course. Second, printing quality should not only be excellent but also stable. Printing quality inspection is an important prerequisite which inevitably requires standardized operation, unified instruments, and test items, scientific standardized standards, strict management, and improved quality of operators. Third, printing quality inspection is an important link in the business communication between customers and printing enterprises. It makes the evaluation of printing quality mainly based on objective evaluation and supplemented by subjective evaluation, reducing the possibility of random evaluation. For printing to be in line with international advanced levels, it is necessary to implement the data-based, standardized, and standardized management of printing quality inspection, so that the requirements for printing quality are highly operable and have good repeatability. Fourth, through the measurement, analysis, and induction of a series of printing quality data, find out the connections and laws between the pre-press and printing processes to determine the standardized standards for evaluating printing quality. and create good conditions for stabilizing and improving printing quality. Fifth, make the responsibilities of the upper and lower processes in the entire printing process clear, and the connection tight. This not only improves work efficiency but also avoids mutual shirking of responsibilities, bringing the overall quality management of the enterprise to a new level. Sixth, in production, promptly measure and analyze the printing quality data to quickly and accurately find and solve the key factors that affect printing quality, greatly reduce losses, reduce costs, and improve efficiency. Seventh, the large amount of data obtained in this way lays the foundation for the computer calculation of printing quality and the subsequent development and use of intelligent printing equipment. This concludes today's lesson.